New data reveals that there's over 49,000 properties on the market in Australia that have been on the market for more than 180 days. And what that tells me is that those agents are potentially using a strategy called hope, that they hope next Saturday that a buyer's actually going to turn up. Well, unfortunately, we need to get back into a plan. And this is a critical component because that's really clear. What's actually happened is that markets have changed quite fast and agents just simply haven't adapted. Now, the skill here is to actually understand what actually happens when you go out there to go and take on a listing that's already been on the market for a long period of time with another agent. There is no doubt that that particular owner is going to feel a little bit wounded. Ultimately, they're going to feel betrayed. They're going to be in this position that they have a low level of trust for what it is that you say as an agent around your strategy in order to be able to go and get their property sold. The first key thing that we do is we run that fine forensics tooth comb over their entire campaign to see what we would have changed. We review the marketing. We have a conversation with the owner about the number of inquiries, inspections, second appointments, the number of people that have even downloaded copies of pest and building inspections, contract requests, the offers that have been received, what actually happened on auction day, whether or not there are any bidders there, all of those things. And naturally, we have a look at the properties that have gone to market, those properties that have actually sold during that particular period of time. Because an overpriced listing helps every other property in the area to ultimately sell. Now, what do we need to do? We need to go and build trust, and we need to make sure that we've got a plan. The best thing that you can do is get 1, 2, 3, 4 buys through that particular home, get some great price feedback to that particular owner to then be able to make the decisions on where we've got to position the asset in order to go and get it sold. We're going to have a look about the importance of a new marketing campaign. Once we've built that trust, pushing the property back to market, being in a position that literally we get a lot of energy around that particular campaign and try to get it sold in a really short period of time. Now, the interesting conversation is that if we're going to go and do this when we're actually taking on a listing that another agent hasn't sold, then why are we doing that around the current listings that we've already got? Now, I've got a client who's in a position that if they take a property to market and it hasn't sold at the auction, within 2 weeks post the auction, they're re-signing that particular property up to go back to auction again in order to be able to go and get it sold. Now, why would you do that? Because ultimately, when you re-sign an agency agreement, it forces you to talk about everything, including marketing, sale methodology, pricing, fee, what it is that we're going to do to really separate and differentiate that particular house from all of the other properties that are currently available in market. The skill is to understand that no one wants to be on a market for a long period of time. And I actually believe that once you've been on the market for 6 months or more, you've probably forgot the reason why you're actually selling. And this is so easy to see. I've been looking at properties online, and sometimes I actually see properties where there's a property video and the agent that's in the video left that particular brand 6 months ago and it's still online. In addition to that, there's no open for inspections, there's no pricing, it says POA, which naturally means really expensive, and we don't even want to talk to you about what the price is because it's been scaring everyone off. Our skill, without a doubt, as great agents, is to make sure that we've actually got a plan. Every single property needs to have a plan, and you need to know what to do next. Let's say, for example, that a property doesn't sell at auction day. The best thing that you can do is that within an hour of that auction being completed, move to putting a price on that particular property. Do an open for inspection later that day. Do another open for inspection on the Tuesday. Re-meet with the vendors come the Wednesday and get that back into campaign so that you can make sure that you get progress. It's your skill to make sure that you get paid for the work that you do. Not be the type of person who does all the work, naturally loses the listing, a competitor takes it on, gets the price reduction, and sells the property within 8 or 9 days of you actually losing the campaign. Our skill more than ever before is to have a look at every single property and to make sure that we've got it in an exclusive authority period. If we don't have it in an exclusive authority period, then now's the time to go back and to get back in control. If you feel that ultimately you've lost that control, you've lost that trust with the vendor, then the best thing that you can do is have someone else from your agency take over that listing in order to go and get it sold. And just think about this. Every single property that you've got right now, if you're about to lose that listing and Josh Fegan was going to go and list that particular property, what would I do? Would I change the marketing? Would I change the actual pricing? Would I change the sale methodology? Would I do something else in order to be able to go and get that particular property sold? If you feel that it's not right, it's not right. If you see something, say something. Get back in front of the vendors, get back in control, and help them get into a position where they actually get to sold.